I think it's important to grow diversity anywhere, regardless of what school you're in and what location you're in. And the reason for that is twofold. First is research shows that diverse learning environments are actually they're more beneficial for students. So students are able to interact with individuals they may not normally interact with. For a student, let's just take Iowa, for example. For a student who's coming from maybe a smaller town, smaller community that might be more homogeneous, this may be their only opportunity to interact with folks that are not like them, and this is where the learning is going to take place, and vice versa, right? So we have students who are being recruited in from communities that are not homogeneous, they're more diverse, and so they come onto campus and it's a culture shock, and it's a culture shock because it's different. And so the learning on that side is how to navigate something that is so different and that can often seem overwhelming and even set students up to be ostracized or to be targets of microaggressions. And so the learning takes place on both sides. I'll talk about students again. When staff is diverse and when students can see themselves represented in faculty and in staff, research also shows that students tend to be more successful. So if we're talking specifically about minority students, then they need to be able to interact with faculty who share the same identities and staff who share the same identities. And if we're talking about members of the LGBTQ community, it's the same thing. They need to be able to know that there's someone on campus that shares that identity so that they can build community in that sense, which is why the cultural houses are so important, and which is why identity-specific programming becomes important as well, because students can find each other in these types of settings.
My name is Nate Robinson. I'm a junior studying sociology. And then some things I'm involved in on campus. I'm now president of my fraternity, Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated. I am the co-coordinator of a Black Male Scholar program called the Hubbard Group. I'm a resident assistant. I am something else. Oh, I was formerly on student government as a senator, academic affairs committee chair. Having diversity on campus makes the classrooms better, right? You have multiple experiences, multiple thoughts, all across the board when you have these different people in a classroom, and students are able to share their stories, be able to work with students that are not like them and kind of share those experiences with one another, and that just helps a student grow as a person, see someone else's point of view of things, and that would be something that would be very beneficial. It would also help Black retention on campus as well. That's another thing. Like, we're a very small Black community is a very small group on campus, and we have a hard time making sure students come back. So we have to make a concerted effort of getting more students to come out so that students feel that they belong here, that they have some support. And then also the university needs to make sure that we're providing the needed resources for these students in order to stay here on this campus. But yeah, those are just a few ways that I think increased diversity could be great.